Welcome, welcome. This is the Inner Grove Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. How's everyone doing today?
Hey man, we're all doing good.
Yeah.
Looking
If I
forward
was
to
doing
this
any
one.
better, I'd be Sandwich Punch. I'll tell you that.
Dang.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so first off, everybody, we're really excited about this podcast. We have Hans Hodel, and really excited to have him on. We're going to do a further introduction and some Q&A with him. But Hans is a asset manager at Ikigai Fund, and has a huge influence in DFK. He's a bard like Sandwich Punch, so we're thrilled to have him on with us. So Hans, thanks for being here with us today.
Yeah, no, the honor is mine. You guys were instrumental in getting me educated when I first landed here. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So, real quick, we have some exciting news, and that is due to the awesome engagement and viewership from our audience and subscribers, we were approached and are now sponsored by Pocket Network. And so we're sharing this logo. You can see Pocket Network's been super clutch for us. It's a separate RPC that I use in DFK. When the DFK network, the Harmony Mainnet network, is congested, I switch over to Pocket, and it works really well. So we're grateful to have them as a sponsor. A lot of you have probably already used Pocket RPC for Harmony, since the RPC has helped with a lot of the Harmony mainnet issues and congestion. It's free for anyone to use it both on Harmony and Avalanche from day one, so that's pretty cool. And there's been a ton of instructions on how to add them in Discord, but we'll drop a link in the description so that you can have some quick access to it. But again, highly recommend, and it's something I know Sandwich, Baby Punch, and myself are all using. It is decentralized network of nodes with 100% uptime, so don't worry about DFK going down for you, because it's a potentially a more reliable solution. So again, thank you Stream, and thank you Pocket Network for the sponsorship. So with that said, we want to dive into having Hans. So again, Hans, thanks for coming on. First question for you: could you just walk us through high level? What do you do professionally, and what's your involvement with DFK?
Yeah, thanks. So I work at Ikigai Asset Management, and we're basically a crypto hedge fund. We're long, short, multi-strat fund, and founded by Travis Kling and Anthony Emman. Travis Kling was a former Point72 asset manager. Before that, worked at a couple other hedge funds, and basically fell down the crypto rabbit hole. And my backstory, basically, I was working as a software engineer at the time when I first heard about Bitcoin, and started thinking, hey, maybe what can we do with this data? I got really interested in that. And by 2018, I was writing articles on Seeking Alpha. They became quite popular. And through friends of friends, I hooked up with Travis Kling, started working there, and sort of transitioned from a software engineer to a research guy. Was a quant researcher. And basically, I would build models and do research, and that would help Travis to basically make decisions of how to allocate the portfolio, and where the opportunity lies, try to sniff out the alpha. That went really well, and we grew that fund from about $1 million when we first started to over 200 million, and so that was.
Time out. 200 million. So that could pay for a couple vacations. Again, is the majority of that investment totally crypto focused? I missed that part. Can you share? I don't know what you're allowed to share, but how much of that is crypto focused, if you are allowed to share that?
Yeah, no, we're 100% crypto. We first started out, it was all basically, Bitcoin and the big names, just because of the slippage and, where can you allocate assets without, there's when you're a hedge fund, you have a lot more rules to follow, and a lot more, concerns and regulations and audits and all this stuff. So basically our thesis was, you can think about, who's your competition? Is it another hedge fund? Is it the S&P 500? And we thought, you know what, maybe our competition is just like the fact that you can buy Bitcoin on Coinbase. So we wanted to give people an option where the idea was you go and you could just buy a Bitcoin position, but if you're with us, then we trade around that position and raise our exposure, lower it, and we have other coins in there too. Mostly it was Bitcoin though. And our goal was to outperform holding Bitcoin over, through cycle with the risk adjusted, return on investment there. We did that in spades. We have beaten the market, and that's before and after fees, by the way. So got a lot of happy partners, and you know, so I've kind of been blabbing on for a while here, but that's the
No,
best.
that's super helpful. Okay, interesting. Let's
Yeah,
just
that's sweet.
check in with Sandwich Punch. Did we jackpot? We did not.
No jackpot,
No jackpots.
unfortunately.
No jackpots. Okay. And so Hans, that's pretty interesting. We have some additional questions, but I did want to let the stream know win giveaway. People are spamming that to me in my DMs. So there is going to be a King Somo giveaway. Sandwich Punch will be summoning with 2 Gen 0s. We will be doing that on the stream. So anyone participating now and viewing now who is also subscribed to our channel will be eligible to get a free summon from 2 of Sandwich Punch's Gen 0s. We'll stream the summoning and we'll stream the unboxing or the opening of the egg so that you can see that. And then again, at the end of the stream, for anyone who's still here, we will announce the King Sumo winner, and you will have a potential mythic Dark Knight or whatever Sandwich Punch feels like summoning today. So, real quick, back to the questions. So, are you allowed to share whether? I mean, obviously, I would assume your fund does have a DFK position. I'm not sure how much you're allowed to share. But then the other question about that is, if you are allowed to clarify that, how did you sell the idea of what, I don't know, the initial DFK launch was, to me, very odd, and I had never seen anything like that. Was this easy to sell up the chain? And for context, Sandwich Punch, Baby Punch, and I are all in corporate America. We all have full-time jobs. That wouldn't be an easy conversation with my manager, and I don't even know if I was competent enough to explain DFK in the early days. So what was that like for you?
Well, I'm not gonna, pry too much into, what kind of a business you work at, but I don't think it was a huge stretch coming from a crypto hedge fund
Okay.
because there are a lot of, there are a lot of projects in the space, and basically how this came about was, we've been trading around Bitcoin, dabbled a little bit, in Ethereum, some Solana, some other, names, but it's been mostly the big names. But recently this year, we started getting really curious about the metaverse. We thought about trying to do more with DeFi, but it was hard to kind of get off the fence because it just seemed like, what's really going on here? How do we play that? But in the metaverse, we really started to do a lot of research, and basically a couple times a week we would sit and have 1, 2, 3 hour long meetings and just ingest a massive amount of research about games, GameFi, DeFi, and this was something that came up, and when I started looking into it, it just suddenly made a lot of sense. And so I think, I was able to sell my boss on the idea and get the okay to move forward with the small allocation. I probably can't say how much, but I think that this project is something that really stood out. And when I wrote that article, it was kind of like me making the investment case for this game, which I don't know that anyone had made before. And I got a lot of good feedback from other asset managers, and so that was kind of the genesis of it.
So are you everybody's best friend at the fund because you're this DFK wonderkin whiz kid who exposed them to this potentially extremely lucrative play? Does everyone just love you?
Well, it's we've only been in a few months, and it has gone really well. If you've been in the game the last few months, but we do think long term, and we are, we kind of have a long timeline that we're thinking about. So they say don't let the victories go to your head and don't let the losses go to your heart. That's something Travis Kling says. So yeah, I mean, obviously it feels great to have good returns the last few months, especially with Bitcoin and Ethereum having a lot of structural challenges. But the road is long, and I think I like where this game is going, and I hope to be in it for a long time.
Awesome. Okay, I want to jump into some questions we've gotten from the stream repeatedly. And Baby Punch, if you want to, as we go, grab some of those questions as well. But the first one I have, let's start with Hans, and then we'll go to Baby Punch and the Sandwich Punch. Questions about AVAX, specifically, what do you think the price action will be on Crystal? Should we expect it to normalize to Jewel fairly quickly? Because if not, whether for better or worse, if it's more expensive to transact on Crystal, I'm going to keep my stuff in Serendel and vice versa. So what do you see happening there? Any insights that you could provide for us would be extremely helpful for the chat as well. I think a lot of people are wondering, will it be equivalent or not? I guess is the core of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you and I have chatted about this, and it makes sense. With the summoning cost is going to be 30 crystal or 30 jewels.
Exactly.
So
That's a good
if
benchmark.
it costs more to summon in one shard, you can transfer your hero and summon over there. But there's going to be some ripples there. I mean, AVAX could potentially onboard more people into this game than we have on Serendale Harmony, and that could go rather quickly. So if you see one thing that could kind of throw that out of whack is if you see, like let's say there's twice as many people in Crystal Vale and Serendale, well, that would probably drive up the price of Crystal. But then I'm assuming there's going to be someone arbitraging that, and it's hard to know, how that bridge is going to work, as far as how quickly can they arbitrage, and who's going to be doing it. But then, I also think too, when Crystal Vale launches, it's not going to have all the features. So I think it's like there's going to be Tavern in the Gardens, but you're not going to be able to quest on Crystal Vale. So if you have heroes, you need quest, and so you want to quest, then you're probably going to be on Harmony.
Yeah, so
but then again, maybe the quests on
a lot of moving parts. Baby Punch, your thoughts on how you're going to approach this, and do you have any concerns about price action?
Not really any concerns. The biggest thing to kind of think about is where the garden position is going to stand, because I know they're allocating a pretty high returns in Crystal Vale with the Crystal launch. And so when that launches, obviously the gardens on Serendel are going to change. So as people move money from Serendel over to AVAX, you're just going to have to kind of wait and see how that kind of settles, because APR on Serendel is going to shoot up as people pull out. And so you'll just have to kind of wait and see if the increase in AVAX is going to justify keeping your money there, or is it going to be worth bringing it back over to Serendel? And so the price of Crystal is going to fluctuate, but it'll eventually settle right where Jewel is what we're anticipating.
Right. We'd have
that
to
only
imagine.
makes sense.
Now, again, the only other thing, and maybe Sandwich Punch can talk to this, to me, the real question mark is supply. And with so little supply, I guess, initially before large emissions occur, even if it is more expensive to summon there, the limited supply may have a really huge impact on the crystal, the jewel, difference. So Sandwich Punch, any thoughts on crystal, price action, supply, any of those topics?
Yeah, and I mentioned this on a couple prior streams. I definitely think, and the devs have also referenced this, that eventually the two will align. Like, the price of Crystal and Jewel will eventually find an equilibrium as all of the arbitrage opportunities have been essentially used up. But initially, yeah, there might be some big price differences, and that's largely in part because the supply of Crystal is going to be so much smaller, right? Like, there's going to be, I'm pulling up my article I wrote on this. I think like 0.8% of the total supply, I think, will be allocated from the airdrop. So not a ton of the total supply of Crystal. And then over the next several weeks, you're going to see a lot of Crystal emitted via the gardens. And so until that happens, until we get a bigger supply and some liquidity going, which they said it. So first, it's going to be single staking of Jewel to get Crystal. So there'll be the airdrop, followed by single staking of Jewel in the Crystal Vale Gardens, followed by typical dual token LP pairings. And once we start to see those dual token LP pairings, I think I'm sure it's going to be like, I don't know, but I'm guessing AVAX and Crystal and, probably some other popular bridged or wrapped tokens over on AVAX along with Crystal. And that's when we'll start to see a lot more liquidity in Crystal. And I think we'll start to see the price regulate a little bit more. But until then, yeah, there might be a price difference, but I'm not sure that there's going to be like a drastic amount of liquidity to really have, a whale take 50,000 Joule over and just, take advantage of this huge opportunity. So it'll be interesting to see, but I think eventually they're going to align.
Okay, awesome. So I did want to make one call out. Chat, the King Sumo giveaway is about to go live. Baby Punch, have you put that link in the chat?
Yeah, I think we can go ahead and post it.
Okay, so link's about to come. So you're going to have 15 minutes approximately to enter into the King Sumo giveaway. The outcome will be Sandwich Punches will stream a 2 Gen 0 summoning on the stream. You will be able to see what we summon. And then the winner of the King Sumo will be announced and you will receive the product of that summon. So just wanted to call that out. Let's bring it back though to the roundtable here. So Hans, here's one question I have for you. I see this a lot in general chat as we've gotten more and more usership and adoption. And I'd really value your point of view on this because I feel like you might bring the most technical and least bias analysis as you've got a lot of stakeholders involved. Are you concerned in any way that the entry point is so high now? So if you want to get in and play the game, not just stake, although you could stake, not just garden activity, but if you want to get a hero right now, you're going to be dropping approximately $800, maybe $700 to $800. Is that a problem to you as we go to a much larger audience? Do you see that being a huge impediment when we compare other offerings, similar offerings, with significantly lower cost entry? What are your thoughts on that? And are you bullish or bearish about that particular facet?
Well, I mean, I think, the simplest thing to do is just put some money in the bank or put some money in a liquidity pool. And the rewards are, they're pretty compelling. They're pretty good right now. So people can still participate in the ecosystem and then decide, if they want to make that leap into buying a hero. But unlike, some other projects, there is that other option where you can basically play this like, a more comforting and entertaining DeFi project. But ultimately, I mean, I do hope that they add more features for people that they can engage in for a lower entry point. But, if you can't afford a hero, you can always just put something in the gardens, kind of build your funds up, and then eventually, get one that way with the crystal drops and all that. So it sounds like they have a plan in the works. But I guess the threat would be if they don't, if they don't implement that, like the base heroes, or maybe, having some of these, whales that have a lot of heroes and don't have time, having people use them in their kingdom or something like that. So
do you think it would be an unfair characterization to call DFK right now essentially a whales game, given gardening and mining essentially being whale quests, fishing returns with foraging being relatively low, and no other real activity besides that, no other game mechanics outside of that? Do you feel like it's a whale only game, or do you feel like it could see mass adoption despite having such a large price to entry?
Well, I think when you're a whale, you have more options available to you, but I think that happens in a lot of places in life, so it's not unique to this game. I mean, like if I want to start flipping commercial real estate, I can't just walk in there.
Whales only.
Yeah, here's my $5. I'd like to buy this skyscraper. So, that's kind of a challenge that I think it may be a little bit of a big ask for DeFi kingdoms to basically, solve wealth inequality. But in some ways, it is a bridge. It's something you can do that actually can be profitable. So I think as long as we're mindful of that, and at least trying to span that gap, we're making progress. But I don't think this game is going to solve that problem on its own.
Okay, thank you, Hans.
I have a take on that.
Yes, please, Baby Punch.
So I used to think that justifying the purchase of a hero was just going to come from the quests. But that's not really the case, because these are NFTs and you can upgrade these NFTs. You can literally make them stronger. You can make them more valuable. Just like if you were to buy an NFT somewhere else, the demand for it is going to go up. As you quest with these heroes, you're gaining experience. You're leveling the hero up. You're leveling up your profession skill. So your NFT itself is eventually going to be worth more than what you purchased it. The rewards from the quests are really just kind of like a side bonus. If you happen to get, if you send them to the mines and you hit the lottery on the mine, that's extra jewel. If you hit runes while you're questing or happen to hit an egg, like that is massive rewards. But in itself, these NFTs, it's not like you need to fully pay for your NFT just from questing rewards. You can upgrade these heroes, and someone is going to be willing to purchase that hero. If you've got a skilled profession of 10, 12, 15, and he's level 4 or 5, like that hero is worth more than just a Gen 1 with, 0 across the board. It's going to be worth more.
My only beef with that, I think you're presenting some interesting POVs here. My beef with that is it should be gardens then. I don't see a clear, really any play outside of pure speculation, which could come to fruition. But then just put your money in the gardens. You get way better returns than what the quests give you, and you have no idea what the future of heroes holds. DFK's been doing announcements on what we might see. A lot of uncertainty and speculation around that. So to me, I just don't see a real reason to buy heroes right now when you could just get these amazing APRs in the gardens. You don't have to sit at your PC and do all of your clicks like Sandwich Punch is generously showing us right now. So Sandwich Punch, your take on that?
Yeah, I think I think that the hero is the more speculative play right now, but I think that it does have more upside. Gardens are going to be consistent. They're, let's go just look at some of these APRs. They're great. They're to the point of like, people saw these on Cryptos R Us last night, and like 500% scam, like rug pull incoming. I guess that's the highest ones. Most of them are sitting at
Sandwich
like
Punch, remind me, what was the APR when you joined DFK?
I mean, they were astronomically like rug pullish, north of hundreds of thousands. But I will note that was like very, very, very briefly. Like I looked at one point, if anybody listened to our first podcast and like kind of how I got into it, when I first looked at it, I think APRs were like 400,000%. I played a game of Dota and came back and it was like 280,000%. Like, so there were really high APRs for a minute, but like it went very quickly back down. But for a while, people were pulling tens of thousands APR, and it was pretty awesome. But back to the question, gardens 500%, 400% for most of these stable pairings, which I'm a huge fan of. That's great stuff. That's going to be consistent. If you follow Ansem and some of these other big Twitter influencers who are very heavily into DeFi kingdoms, they have a lot of theories, and I kind of agree that eventually I think that you're going to see a lot of momentum in favor of like garden APRs towards heroes, because let's just take an example. Your hero, you can start leveling up your hero right now. And you might not have like a huge locked balance or something, but imagine what happens when you have like AVAX wells that come in and they see like, oh man, it's going to take me 3-4 weeks to get a fisher to level 10. Like I don't have time for that. And so there's little things you can do in the meantime with your heroes that are going to increase the value of those for those people. I don't know that right now the market really appreciates what it means to have like a fishing level 10 guy.
I think you showed an archer for 40 jewel right now.
Yeah,
at
this
10
Chad,
plus.
this Chad had 13.
Yeah.
And
we've called that out before. It doesn't seem like people are getting it yet. At least I think that's we all agree that is wrong. It should be valued higher, right?
And I don't think we're going to see that until we see level 10 profession quests come out.
Correct.
Because right now everyone's like
gated.
Okay, I see like the marginal benefits like to my drop rates. So like where was that guy?
It's already scooped.
13.1 right here. That's a significant time investment. Mint ID 20,000. So this guy's been around for a while. So I don't.
Wait, do we know for sure it's 10 though? Are you saying they have come out and said the first gate will be 10 professional skill?
Nobody has officially said it, but if you go look through like Discord messages from Fox and Hubert, I don't know how you could interpret it any other way. So I'm like, I would bet money that it's going to be in like at least for this first one, a level 10 increment, and that's profession skill level. Hubert has been very clear, and I tweeted about this. It's not hero level. So when we're talking profession quests, it's profession skill level. So this, these numbers right here, not this level number here.
Okay, Hans, I had a question for you. This is a sentiment I've heard multiple times from people I trust in the community, and they believe mining is a little problematic because of the quantity of whales present with large 20K plus wallets and the negative price action it may represent price pressure against the jewel price. As we did the math, I think it's upwards of 40 to 50K unlocked jewel a day. And I could show that math. Maybe I'm wrong. Do you have any concerns about negative price pressure from mining, dilution, etc.? Any concerns about that? Or are you very bullish on mining?
That's an interesting question. Yeah, I guess I would like to see the math. I haven't done that myself yet, but as far as like what is the max that is being unlocked versus the total amount that's being emitted right now? Do you happen to know that?
I don't off the top of my head. I can put something together though.
Got it.
Sandwich punch?
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
So the locked, that's going to be a really hard calculation. Like for me, I'm sure there's some developers out there who can like pull total locked balance and whatnot. But in terms of emissions, which block are we on right now? On 21.4 million. So we're like here, 300 joule a minute.
So I would say, yeah, wait, so let me just do the quick math there. 300 times 60 times 24, so 432,000. And so I'm saying an initial, let's call it 10% a day. Maybe, again, I could be wrong, but let's speculate and say an additional 10% a day. Any concern about that? Should we see negative price pressure?
I guess one question is like, are the locked balances growing faster than the amount that they're unlocking? Because I think having a large locked balance essentially makes you a forced long, and I don't say that in a bad way, but it's like I don't think anybody wants to see jewel lower in the future, or they probably wouldn't be in the game in the first place. Are some people going to take profit? Yeah, they probably will, and that's natural. But I guess there may be bigger factors in play. This kind of reminds me of the whole like, what are the Bitcoin miners doing? Are the Bitcoin miners selling their Bitcoin? Are they holding it? And the whole debate around like, is that driving the price? And I've kind of been of the camp that miners selling Bitcoin is less of a factor. But I guess no one really knows for sure at the end of the day.
Okay, Sandwich Punch, would you like to summon the egg, not open it, but summon the egg right now? Would that be an appropriate time to do that?
Yeah, sure. We can summon this, and then I think the King Sumo link will end here in a few minutes. And
again, correct me if I'm wrong, these are the desirable gene people, right? These are R1 super clean gened Gen Zeros. Is that correct?
Yeah. Let me let's just
shill our Gen Zero.
Let's just pull open what these look like. By
the way, have you used DFK Dash Professions? Because that also is super.
Yeah.
But is this
better?
Let's do
it. Let's do it.
Less than 2 minutes on the giveaway. So if you haven't gotten in,
dip it in.
Get in there.
Let's see, summon chances.
I personally added 10 different Discords to the giveaway, so I'm excited that I'm going to win that. Just kidding.
All right.
So for any of you who haven't,
saying, one sec, people are asking for the link. Is my link? Are you guys seeing it in the chat?
Can anyone check? Sandwich Punch, can you check how many people have entered so far?
I believe it's in there, but I don't know if my links are going.
I'm getting a lot of you never posted it.
All right,
we're gonna have to kick. We're gonna kick Baby Punch off the stream. Baby Punch, thanks for coming on today.
I'm gonna take early returpoint here.
Okay, so
figure out why
we're gonna have to time out a second, redo the King Sumo, and post a new King Sumo.
I'll open it back up I'll open it back up. Here.
Yeah, let's open
Let's
this
see.
up
Does this link work for people? Let's see how that goes.
Because if the original one links
maybe
works,
maybe
it doesn't even
can we
matter.
turn it slow mode? Bloater Punch. Can we slow down the chat?
I can try. Yeah. Let me
Oh,
try.
you know what? I don't know if we can we not post links? Here, actually, Bloater Punch. Why don't you post the link?
Okay.
Might be an issue with who's hosting the stream.
Okay. Let me work.
Sorry
on
about that, guys. Man, amateur hour over here.
Who are these
there.
guys?
Say, I posted this sucker like 10 times.
It might
Okay,
be.
I'm about to post it. Hold up.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Klunike about tweeting the link is that and it just opens it up for a bunch of random people who didn't care or take the time to join, which we wanted to reward people who are here, tuning in with us.
Okay, but let me ask a question. Is this the original link I'm going to post that's going to expire or already expired?
No, it edits. As I edit it, it stays open. So we'll open it up here for 15 more minutes.
Okay, I just posted the link. Chat.
There we go.
Check out the link and tell me if it works. I'm going to post the link again.
Should have 14 minutes left on it. Sorry about that,
I'm gonna
guys.
open up. Yeah, 14 minutes. Yeah, that's my
Okay, so we
bad. I
got
didn't
14
know we
minutes.
couldn't post those links there.
Okay, by the way, Sandwich Punch, can you show chat this DFK professions while we're waiting? It says it ended. Hard Top says it ended.
No,
I just opened it. It's open for 14.
no, it
or,
should still
All
be
right, it
there.
works. Hard Top, you joker.
yeah, 13 minutes.
Sandwich Punch, can you
click on
walk
the
us
link. It
through?
works.
Can you walk
Yep.
us through what's going on here? Because this is pretty interesting
Yeah,
stuff.
let me go screen here. Yeah, so let's see. Is it not pulling up here? Here we go.
Did you submit it?
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So yeah, and
It's
one
just
thing
formatting super weird because your screen's
Yeah.
small.
Do I need to? No, this will work. This will work. So here's the two heroes: 243 and 535. Real quick, everyone should go and follow, if you haven't already, Mr. Zipper. He has an awesome article on recessive genes. You should definitely check it out. We mentioned this a bit on Jewelcast, but if you go down, let's see, where is it? Deep dive on hero genetics right here. Gotta follow this, guys. This is really important in understanding how summoning works and the recessive genes, because at the end of the day, this is a numbers game. There's an algorithm built into the smart contract that determines your success rate for pulling various cards, and the more you can tweak those numbers in your favor, obviously that means more money for you. So essentially what happens is every hereditary trait, so class, subclass, profession, green boost, blue boost, even the cosmetics, they all have one dominant gene and a recessive gene. So, 3 recessive genes. So right here, we're looking at primary class. So primary class is the only one we're really concerned about right here for this summon. So we have an archer and a thief. So when I say archer, and thief, I'm talking about dominant and recessive one. So let's go back, just like be really clear here. This is a main class archer and a subclass knight, and a main class thief and a subclass knight. So what we don't care about is profession gene and the we don't care about the primary and subclass being aligned. We care about the dominant and the recessive one being aligned, because what happens is when you go to check, it says, okay, we're summoning an archer and a thief together. What are the chances that they make a dark knight? So what it'll do is say, well, we'll use 75% of the time when we run that check, we're going to use the dominant gene. 20%, well, it's not 20, it's like 18-ish. About 18% of the time, we'll use recessive 1. And then recessive 2 and 3 are used like an aggregate of like 7% of the time. So very, very low odds. If you pull recessive 2 or 3, you're very unlucky. So
can I just restate this? I'm a layman myself, so I don't know a lot about recessives and genetics. It's also super racist, which I'm against. But you're saying, hey, I want to mate an archer and a thief. I want to summon those together. And if I can just get the D which is dominant, and R1 of both to align with what I already know about summoning, which is I want a thief and an archer to try and make a Dark Knight. You're saying the D and the R need to align, and if they're aligned, you should feel good. Is that fair, or is there way more to
Exactly. That's it. If you get
Okay.
D and R1 aligned, your odds go from like, let's say I had so archer main class here and no archer recessive genes, and same with thief and no recessive thief genes. My odds of pulling a Dark Knight would be a little less than 15%. With dominant and recessive aligned, you're actually pulling in closer to 22%. So that's a 7% increase, and 7%. So compared to the 14%, that's a 50% increase in your success rate to pull a Dark Knight or advanced class, whatever it is, right? This is a Dark Knight. So some of you might be wondering, well, like, how the heck do I go and find that? Well, you can use DFK Profession. You can use HeroBot in Discord. HeroBot in Discord is really clean. You go to Kingdom Watch. He's got a Hero Watch. Like, let's put in 535. Boom. Like, here's your genes. Thief, Archer, Pirate.
So again, you could bring together 2 priests that might actually have recessive genes aligning, but you still have to align the initial classes. So I still have to bring, if I want a Dark Knight, I have to bring a thief and an archer together, regardless of what their genes may say, right? That's the initial check. Is it a thief and an archer? Then I need to go to dominant and recessive.
No, sorry, that's not how it works. So what it does is it does the advanced class mutation check at the end after it's pulled the relevant gene. So let's
just
go back
to be clear,
down here.
can I summon a Dark Knight if I don't have an archer and a thief?
If the card on the front of the card it is not an archer, yes, you could still pull it if it has an archer in one of the recessives and it uses the recessive gene. So for example, last night I summoned a wizard and a priest together, and I got a knight, and that's because one of those 2 had knight here in the 3 recessive class genes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Can I ask a question about the subclass, or would that be?
Yeah,
Please,
go ahead. We got a few
let's
minutes here, so.
Yeah, so if I understand correctly, the subclass does not affect what you summon in their main class. That's dominant and recessive genes of both of them. So what exactly does the subclass do? Do we know yet? Does it do anything?
Well, I think that my guess is there might be something that comes out on it later that might give us more details, but for right now, the only thing we have are that it impacts your stat growths. So I've got here open the stat growth chart, if anybody's seen this. And so the way leveling works is it will, like, let's go to like a warrior here. When you go to level up with a warrior, so these are its primary growth values, and these are the secondary, which are just 1/4 of the primary. So your subclass, your primary class will roll for stats, and then your subclass will also roll through every single stat: strength, dex, agi, right?
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
the secondary class has a 25% success rate, so it's very low. So like, let's say you have a knight, or sorry, a warrior thief, right? So I go here to warrior. When you level him up for the primary class, it's going to roll through strength. It's going to say, okay, did you get +1 for strength? You have a 75% chance for success. Did you get +1 for dex? 70%. And then it goes through every single one of those. And then it says, okay, what was your subclass? Thief? Okay, strength. Did you get +1 for strength for your subclass? Well, you have a 55% chance. Boom. Or no, sorry, 13.75. It goes through the secondary stat values, which is just 1/4 of the primary. So secondary stat growths are very low chance of success.
But it seems like they would be useful in PvP and for professions, because
they might come out, yeah.
Knight or something like that. You got that extra roll, and if you level up to level 100 by the end, you got a better chance to be getting extra strength than if you're like a knight wizard. So it seems like that's
right.
If it's small.
Yeah, so like let's take a knight for example. On average, right? Statistically speaking, a knight should get an extra 18.75 vitality over 100 levels, as opposed to a thief would get 12.5 vitality.
Okay, thank you for that. I'm glad I asked that question.
Man, I need to take a doctorate thesis level dissertation course on hero genetics and leveling. I'm going to be honest, every time someone asks me about secondary class, I'm always like, yeah, it's super important. I have no idea. So I'm glad you walked us through.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, my personal opinion, I pretty much factor subclass like into my decision like 0%. That might come back to bite me, and that might change, and there's probably going to be like some alpha drop on like how important subclass is on combat and your skills and abilities later. But for right now, it's like complete speculation. I have no way to like value that.
And again, Zebra asked, and I think this is important. The subclass doesn't affect summon. The subclass, it sounds like, only affects stat growth. Is that fair?
Subclass affects the outcome of the subclass gene on the summon.
Ooh.
Subclass has no impact on the primary
Just got
class.
chills.
So profession, same thing with profession. The profession gene right here. So this guy is a miner, but he has R1 gardening, foraging, and mining. The profession will impact the profession outcome. So the sub and main class just get confused so much because they're both shown on the front of the card, but they're completely separate hereditary traits. They have zero impact on each other. There's no cross-pollination between primary class gene and subclass gene.
Is this unnecessarily complex? Yeah, potentially, but you know, we're rolling with it. So I want to address one logistical issue, Sandwich, and then let's summon. People are a little salt in chat that we posted it to Twitter. Would you say going forward, can we commit to not post the giveaway link, the King Sumo link to Twitter, or is that something?
Who posted it to Twitter? I didn't post it to Twitter.
I didn't post it to Twitter.
Oh, sorry, I did that. I saw
Oh.
someone said to do it, but you know, the other
no, you're good.
thing there is the it is time constrained. So I mean, if someone
Yeah,
hops in-
guys,
Yeah.
like it is
Yeah,
what it
chill your
is.
bones,
Like it's
Cat.
you know, we're working on it. Like we had some technical issues. Like it's a free hero, so you know we're hoping to do this again and continue to do stuff like this. So let's all just like have a good attitude about it.
Okay, let's do it. Are you ready, Sandwich Punch?
Yeah.
Has the moment arrived?
Let's
3
do it.
minutes left to enter.
Okay,
so
well,
if you
let's
haven't-
summon now. I want to see it. Also, if we do summon a mythic, we may have some
I don't
technical
have
chat
tools.
difficulties, and the stream may end abruptly, and you may never hear from us again. So let's get summoning.
Just pull out us.
Sandwich, do you need me to give you a jewel loan?
Seriously, guys, I'm running low here. I recently moved a good portion of my bank over to the gardens. The gardens are too good. All right.
oh, thanks. I'm gonna really enjoy the amulet you don't win. So
I hope you get it, man. All right, DR1 Archer, DR1 Thief.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
Let's
I'm
do
really
it.
hoping this. Whoever wins this, I hope it's a Dark Knight.
I'm holding my breath. Oh, the suspense.
Mythic Dark Knight, here we go. Mythic Dark Knight, here we go.
Nice, not showing up. That's bullish. Okay, here we go.
All right. See if that aligned genetics pays off. This will validate your article or not, Sammy.
All right, 15 seconds.
Based
All
on
right,
this
so the last
single
one, we did
instance.
this last week, and it was an uncommon thief miner, which, by the way, is probably worth quite a bit now with the mining change.
And by the way, are we going to be able to announce on stream who the winner is, or will we
Yeah,
just be
I'm not gonna like get into the details of like sharing my screen. I'll announce the email without like the server address,
Got it.
and then we'll just email that person directly.
Or maybe
Thief?
just give the
Okay.
first 4 or 5 characters.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. All right, what are we thinking? Common, rare, legendary, mythic. Oh,
Thief. Okay.
Common
Okay. But we don't know the
thief.
rarity.
Rare.
Wait, do we already know the rarity?
yeah.
I
It's
didn't know you could
common.
tell it from there.
Man,
Bummer.
okay. The odds of this happening.
What's
Thief
the
was obviously pretty high.
Gardener Thief? Let's go.
The odds of getting gardening,
What's the ID?
I guess it's 46% chance.
Yeah.
The ID is. Give me one sec here. 89451.
What was the
Dang
thief
it.
percent?
Thief percent. Sorry, my
Oh,
whole
dude, it's
screen's
a
not
thief
showing.
though. You got a line genetics, and he's got luck.
No, he's a thief knight.
Thief was a 36% chance.
No, R1 is thief.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. The genetics are clean though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got
so that's a good. This is good, like Dark Knight fuel here.
Yeah, you got a line genetics. You got
So
green
what Hans is
Yeah.
referring to, guys, is right here. If you come over here, we put up in that hero ID that we just pulled. He's a thief main class, and his R1 is thief. So that means when he goes to do the Dark Knight check, it has almost a 95% chance to pull through the thief gene. It's not quite 95, it's like 93. And then just remember, once you pull through the right genes for each hero, if it's the right ones, like if it's Archer and Thief, then it says, okay, now you have a 25% chance to hit Dark Knight. So what I'm guessing happened is it pulled through Archer and Thief for each of them, and then only had, it has a 25% chance at best, or sorry, a 25% chance to pull Dark Knight, and it didn't hit, didn't ping. And we didn't get the Miner. We had a 40% chance for Miner, it didn't get that, but we do have an endurance buff here. So if you do summon with a Dark Knight with this guy, you have a chance to pass on the endurance gene. So,
all right, who's the email?
giveaway. Are people still salty that got tweeted?
I'm wondering if it was just in the King Sumo, one of the tasks was to tweet about it, but I think it was just to tweet about Inner Grove. I don't know if it was to tweet about the King Sumo giveaway.
Well, I mean, it's kind of
We'll
hard
have
to
to check
stop it.
that.
from being
All right, here we
shared.
go, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Anybody
it
would
is what
use
it is,
their
guys.
Twitter to
Let's
share
not
the
Anyone
link.
can copy that and paste that.
All right, so it's Z Sungkar.
Wait, Z sunk? Spell it out.
Z Sungkar. ZSUNGKAR. We'll be shooting you an email from the Inner Grove email. Don't bother reaching out to us, people. We had so many people fake and try to be the right person last time. So we will be contacting this person via email. And thank you for everybody for joining us. We'll get these technical glitches figured out for the next one.
Awesome. Hans, thank you so much for coming on. Again, you bring so much value and you're an industry expert. So really appreciate you coming out and participating in the stream.
Yeah, thanks. No, I appreciate being here.
All right, this is signing off from Bloater Punch. Thank you, Baby Punch and Sandwich Punch, for participating as well.
Thanks guys.
Everybody.
Appreciate everyone coming out.
All right, we'll see you guys next week live, probably same time on Saturday, but Sandwich Punch will tweet out. So thank you so much and have a great day.